In a world where rights are just a piece of paper and protection of life is punishable by death, in a society where things rule over the people with iron fists, crushing souls, existing amongst the filtered rose-colored lenses with no frames, you see reality. Now, today, we're going to talk to y'all about something that y'all probably have seen but refuse to actually acknowledge. And that is how the Constitution has been subverted. How we have been living a lie. We're going to discuss two different pieces of evidence that will prove this thesis, even though there is a plethora more evidence out there that people call conspiracy theories. So, we're going to continue this. But first I want to introduce myself. This is Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses, and this here is Revolutionary Hour. And on Revolutionary Hour, we like to talk to y'all about the things that actually matter, not that other stuff. So, before we get started, we're going to play a little bit of music after a word from one of our sponsors. But we want to ask you to go ahead and like, follow, and subscribe to us on your favorite streaming service, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it's Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, or more. And share us to your family and friends. This way, with the information, they can actually see for themselves that it is no longer a conspiracy theory, it is actually fact. And if it's fact, then we need to do something about it. This is your boy, Mr. E, and we'll be back after a word from one of our sponsors. Skin and hair care makes the perfect gifts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, especially when it comes in all natural forms for Southside Beauty Care. Our gift boxes include natural and raw black soap from Africa, hair and beard oil that will make your hair strong and shiny, beard balm with essential oils such as cedarwood, hoe wood, and more to style that manscape on your face.
I could use that.
Our signature skincare cream designed to quench your skin's thirst and make it shine like Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon.
Did you just show your age?
Get your box today at SouthsideBeautyCare.com.
They be trying very, very hard to keep me out this game. I just got one question. What you afraid of?
I think we're gonna be friends.
Hardly. You niggas never invited this boy to the party. Standing outside in the cold rain, looking through the window, see you turn it up like car keys. So low with the mind frame, but I came with my game, cause ain't a damn thing gon' change. Stayed in my lane, fry label pay, sippin' Dre, saying to myself what 8 years gold chain. So I focus on the game plan, to put them all on the knees like they about to say amen. Gotta cry like Rayman, ain't a strange man, all I wanted was the screens for the bandstand. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you'll be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory.
The clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly,
So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the
We're gonna
glory.
be friends.
Remember that little scroll talking about what he's gonna do to obtain success. He was 10 toes down, made progress, while the congregation hated like Congress. I can't say I have a status, but Nipsey brought the hustle back, so now the bosses got this. We about the block back, can't stop that for the suburbs all the way to the projects. No longer treated like objects, tossed to the side, we glide, no matter with the weather. I remember living hard, so I have to stay fly, so baby, you fucking with a treasure. This ain't like a scary movie, the ending might just be a little bit gory. Nothing else is gonna stand in between me and glory.
We're gonna be friends.
suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly,
So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the
We're gonna
glory.
be friends.
My mom told me not to ever let these cowards play me. You lose it all in the blink of an eye. So true while they pointing at the white man, they planted on my back while holding a big knife. Now they're gonna need a crossbow, cause I need 50 feet before I take a seat. Back to the wall, no room for slipping. Let me see it all when it comes to take a G. There's no fakery, the money come fast like a sale at the trap bakery. You could be kidding me, I'm still here to sweet lick like you some kind of candy man. This is for the time I spent. I know that baby out there is checking for me. I guarantee it's not me, but the
I
glory.
think we're gonna be friends.
suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been
What's good, everybody? What's good? This is your boy, Mr. E, Boss of the Southside Bosses, coming to y'all here live on BOSS Radio's Revolutionary Hour, where we have to give y'all nothing but the best, because you know we be talking about some things on here that a lot of people would be considered taboo. They don't want to hear about it. They think it's just a Debbie Downer type thing. So I just want to I need to reassure y'all that this is not what that is. This is straight, unequivocated evidence about what is going on in your life and how your things are being taken from you, since a lot of people really care about their things. So I like to bring that up, that your things are they're at risk of being taken. Yeah, they're at risk of being taken, and if you don't do anything about it, then it'd be nothing you can do about it when it is time. So I just suggest that everybody, get on their grind. Let's bring some justice where justice is due, since everybody claimed they want justice. You can't get it without the knowledge. So that's why we are here. So before we even go further, let me go ahead and make the all of the lawyers happy, because they just waiting to jump on lawsuits or whatnot. So let's go ahead and get that clarified with the little radio disclaimer. BOSS Radio, Southside Bosses, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the site or the radio station, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. This site does not endorse anything as the truth. That you will have to judge for yourself. But we try to speak the truth on the owner's behalf and reserve the right to question the supposed truth. In this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and government corruption, it is sometimes hard to get to the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to libel, discriminate, make hate, or annoy anyone. We believe that it is our constitutional First Amendment right of free speech to voice our opinions, and our duty to the Constitution and country to expose the truth. This site takes no responsibility for the opinions of others and the postings of comments in chat rooms or forum posts.
This is the Revolutionary Hour.
With that being said, let's get it on. Now, everybody knows that whenever it comes to this great nation of ours, what makes it so great is the fact that we have this one little document that protects everything that we desire. Everything that we want to have in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and all of our God-given rights protected and things of that nature. We call this one little document the Constitution for the United States of America. Now, what has been done over the years, hundreds of years, from my research, not just from listening to conspiracy theorists, because at first I was very skeptical. I was like, I would believe in aliens before I believe in something like this. And I did believe in aliens, so I guess it was in. But anyways, that was my younger self, you know what I'm saying? But keeping up with the research that was that I had pursued all these years, over the decades, I've actually found some things that actually have been proven to be true. And it just blew my mind, because now I actually see things the way that they are. And every time they say anything on the news, I see it a totally different way now. The Constitution has been subverted. Now, I could go and tell you how they did that, but without actually seeing any evidence, how would you even think this would be possible, right? So we're going to discuss two pieces of key evidences that show you how the Constitution has been subverted. Now, if you don't know anything about the Constitution, we'll be going over the Constitution in the different clauses so that you'll be able to go look this up for yourself. And it's really quick Google. Matter of fact, I am using Google right now to show you these things. Now, don't get me wrong, I done read all this stuff in real books and encyclopedias, in the Constitution, in HR documents, House resolution documents, so on and so forth. But just looking, I was just Googling things just right now before, and I was able to find my whole speech. So I will be using Google, and I have a video of how I use Google to find all of this information to show you that it's really out there. It is really out there. So y'all make sure y'all go follow our YouTube page at Southside Submissions or Southside Bosses. And you will be dropping that video really soon. Y'all better tune in real soon, because you know YouTube, they snatching stuff off left and right when they appealing to who they think should appeal, the audience that it should appeal to. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So it's the Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 of the Constitution for the United States of America. This is what it states, and I'll put it in the chat box, so if you want to hit chat, you can read along with us. But it states, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. That is a lot that's going on in there, right? I mean, that's pretty much 10 commandments right there, right? But I'm not gonna break down every last one of it, because I know that y'all like, hey man, goddamn, that was too much. That was way too much. And you're right, that is way too much. But it's one thing in there that I want y'all to look at, that I know you know for a fact you do not have. It is where it says, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. Pretty much the only thing you're supposed to be using is money, is gold and silver, to pay off any debt that you may incur. If you're not paying with gold or silver, you're not paying a debt. That's what that one line says. But how long have we been paying with gold and silver? Well, if you really want to check it out, money is not backed by gold. It isn't. You know how most governments that have a currency that have real money, they have it backed by gold or a resource that their economy is known for. Decided to use gold and silver. Now, we use a fiat currency now. The US dollar is a fiat currency. And if you don't know what fiat currency is, fiat money is a government issued currency that is not backed by a commodity such as gold. I'm going to go ahead and throw that into the chat box so that y'all can see that. But you can look this up yourself. Just look up, is money backed by gold? And it'll tell you no, because it is a fiat currency. Fiat money gives central banks greater control over the economy, because they can control how much money is printed. Most modern paper currencies, such as the US dollar, are fiat currencies. Now, I was thinking about that earlier when I was watching the news, because they were trying to say about the inflation and what Biden was trying to do to incur the inflation. Now, one thing I will say, y'all know I don't like Biden. I don't give a flying about him. But I will go on a limb and say this. He is not responsible for the oil prices. He's not responsible for the inflation rate. He's not. He has no power over that. The Federal Reserve do. The central banks do. They created fiat money in order to have that control over the economy, as it says in Investopedia.com. That's where I just read that fiat money definition from. Investopedia.com. Everybody know what Investopedia is if you do investing, or if you just into the money scene, period. Just put the link up in the chat so you can check that out. But if you just into the economy scene, period, you know Investopedia is a relevant, very, very relevant source. Very relevant. So what is it? Why is now money not backed by gold? Well, according to Investopedia again, why did the U.S. abandon the gold standard? The U.S. abandoned the gold standard in 1971 to curb inflation and prevent foreign nations from overburdening the system by redeeming their dollars for gold. Meaning that they come over here and they could take all of our money by just pretty much spending all they take all our gold by just spending all their money. And that would pretty much break us. Now, that's the thing. Is their money backed by gold? Because if their money is backed by gold, we could just turn around and do the same exact thing. Take our dollars and spend it over there and purchase their gold. So, they have an excuse for why they decided to abandon the gold standard, but the Constitution calls for the gold standard to be in place. So that means that in somehow, some way, they had to subvert the Constitution. So how did that happen? Well, it's very simple. All you need is a packed Supreme Court and a president, because the fact of the matter is the United States went bankrupt in 1933 and was declared so by President Roosevelt by Executive Order 6073, 6102, 6111, and the Executive Order 6260 on March 9th, 1933. Now, this was executed under the Trading with the Enemy Act of October 6, 1917, as amended by the Emergency Banking Relief Act 48, Statute 1, Public Law Number 1, which is presently codified at 12 USCA 95A and confirmed at 95B. Now, you can confirm and verify this for yourself by reading the journals of the House of Representatives, or you also can go to findlaw.com and find it on there as well. Now, so therefore, the U.S. Congress confirmed the bankruptcy on June 5th, 1933, and thereupon impaired the obligations and the considerations of contracts through the joint resolution to suspend the gold standard and abrogate the gold clause on June 5th, 1933. This was all in the making. This was in the making for years. But they come up with a good excuse, didn't they? Told you that, they could come over here and make you give up all your gold by just giving us their money. Well, if they on a fiat currency, then why don't you trade with them on your fiat currency and let us inside the United States trade the gold and silver? That would be, that could have been but you didn't want that either. You needed the gold out of everybody. And that's why most people that's old enough, they'll tell you that there was a time period where they had gold, and when the nation was, especially around the civil rights era, they was coming out with all the U.S. fiat, the dollar bill and stuff, and they was having a big buyback plan, a big buyback program, a buyback program where they was pretty much buying gold and offering top dollar for gold. You see that till this day. They had commercials all about, we'll buy your gold for money. Why would I want to give you my money for that cotton that you talking about is money? I know this gold is money, but people didn't know that, because you know why? People don't really look at the Constitution like that. They don't see in Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1, it says only gold and silver is money. And that is guaranteed by the people who tells you that the cotton is money. But we just go along with it. You know what else could be done with that cotton? It could be taxed. It's not yours. It's not yours. If you read it, it tells you it's not yours. It is only going to be used to pay off any debt. So as soon as you get it, you got to go and give it to somebody else. And as soon as they get it, they got to turn around and give it to somebody else. As soon as they get it, they got to turn around and give it to somebody else. It's not yours. So whatever rules come with that, you abide by by acquiescence have to abide by the rules of that item. Hence, that means every time you get it, you got to give some of it away before you give it to whoever you want to give it to. It's never yours. But until we understand that, we're going to be witnessing a crime and actually we're participating in that crime. And until we actually stop that, we'll be accomplices to a crime. And criminals always are held accountable. Always. Whether it be through their blood lineage or whether it be them when they come back. Everybody is held accountable. The law doesn't exist for no reason. And I'm not talking about man's law. But if you also look at a couple of other things, see, that was just the evidence right there, pure cut, uncut evidence that you see. Obviously, the Constitution was subverted. And now you know when and how. So, what else about that Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 could be, can be up under scrutiny? Well, they also said that they are not supposed to emit bills of credit. Now, what is a bill of credit? A bill of credit are documents similar to banknotes issued by a government that represents a government's indebtedness to the holder. They are not allowed to do that. They are not allowed to do that. It says no state shall emit bills of credit. So why is that a big thing? Why is emitting bills of credit? Why am I bringing that up? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a government bond a bill of credit? Because the definition of a government bond is a form of security sold by the government. It is called a fixed income security because it earns a fixed amount of interest every year for the duration of the bond. The purpose of a government bond is to raise money to operate the government and to pay down debt. That sounds every last bit of what a bill of credit is, because now they owe this person, whoever they sell this government bond to, whether it's an artificial person or a natural person, they owe them a fixed income every year. They owe them. So that's indebtedness right there. That's the definition of indebtedness. So tell me if I'm wrong, but that sounds like a breaking of the Constitution as well. The people who wrote the Constitution are breaking the Constitution right here in front of your eyes, and we act like it's not happening. What else on there? What's a bill of attainder? A bill of attainder is also known as act of attainder or writ of attainder, is a act of legislation declaring a person or a group of people guilty of some crime and punishing them often without a trial. Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you off rip, I think I'm reaching on this one because I just read this today and I'm just going off what I already know. So this is straight opinion. But isn't the Jim Crow laws pretty much what they're talking about here? A group of people guilty of some crime and punishing them often without a trial? Isn't that? Or did they find ways to cover that up? Because I want to say the Emmett Till murder falls right up under this. But they did take them boys to trial, even though we knew it wasn't going to be a real trial. It was a fucking clown show. But that seems very similar to Jim Crow laws, the Christian black codes, slavery, things, so on and so forth. So it seems like this one right here can go back a long way. But then again, we was in persons when we were slaves. We were things that they branded. But that's just my opinion about that one. But as you can see from at least the coin, the gold and silver, that the U.S. Constitution right now is being subverted by the same people who were supposed to be protecting it, who created it. I don't know why they created it just to break it, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they created it with the thought process of people, actual people of all race, of all not races but nationalities, would be considered equal. You know what I'm saying? Got to remember, slaves wasn't equal. Blacks were not people. So they made it with the intent of people being equal, but maybe it was under like pretty much just like I say, subverted, underscored, and that would have happened around the Lincoln time, when Lincoln got assassinated. It would have had to, because that's when we were supposed to get, black people were supposed to get, no, not even black people, just slaves. We were supposed to get 40 acres and a mule, and we see that didn't happen. Another piece of evidence of how the Constitution was subverted. But when we come back, we're going to discuss the second piece of evidence, because we ain't even gone over the second piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is something that, we would think that we witness every day, but we don't even think two things about it. We think it's supposed to be like that, and because that's exactly how it's been introduced to us, even though it hasn't even been in existence like that for over 100 years yet. But then again, who's 100 years old right now that was black, that is black, that can say that it was in politics back then? Nobody. So, of course, y'all wouldn't remember. So this is why we need to do the study, and I'm going to bring this forth to you. The second piece of evidence, after we play some piece of music and word from one of our sponsors. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Like I said, hit that like, subscribe, and follow button here on BOSS Radio's Revolutionary Hour, baby.
Revolutionary Hour.
Okay, God, let me talk to you for a brief second, Lord. Why is it the good always fall victim to the double-edged sword? The separate more to the brave, hard they keep chained on the shore. Scores of female to destroy because others wanted the sword. They golden now oil, yo, listen, female left toy. You look into my mind and can you understand the recoil? I don't wanna be rude or even stick a finger in the wound. We are here with the wounds as we see love was in the tomb. But we also see wounds and love was come to life. Looking into the eyes of the passion to make you strive and I feel alive. No lie, even cry becoming a daddy, save my life. I'll always be here to ride until the day that I die. So I thank you up above, but I wonder what kind of life hatred or full of love with they experience. What we see is common sense, but even common sense isn't common ass. It's full of shit. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Fired up. Like the end of the car. Spin some ends on the car. Still felt like a sucker until I get that Benzo to park. Won't push a start, but this lawnmower won't start. So now I'm stuck in the seat trying to cut this shit with no short. They know where to go for, so they set it roadblock. So I've been trained to be a train. I will put no stops until I put those drops in multiple bank accounts. Making these fakes breathe envy and wait for them to bounce. I started with just an ounce of pride. Look where I'm at. Creative adversary to multiple rapping rants. Taking out the trash. Wait, that's been played out. Let me see if there's another way to say they phased out. Raised out the garden, they not weeds that can be smoked. No toke, I'ma choke them out before they make me croak. Watch their dirty mouth like soap, now talk correct. When you speak to your elders, use some respect. On fire. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Everybody wanna be Nipsey and Asbury. How you gonna be him when your heart is full of hate? Hypocritical outrates. Nipsey stood for peace. Even the Crips and the Bloods will peace on the streets. We got too many disease, losing the way epically. The troops are getting out, gaining momentum as we speak. You see, we need the deeds of kings of all degrees. They are poisoning our water and forcing it on our seas. Trapped in the vortex, asking their God for forgiveness. I wouldn't forgive you either for acting like bitches. We sold our soul for riches, of years and catching switches. Straight to our best, we wasn't hollering about no digits or commas. Yo, check Obama, we got the drama. When you escape with your life, if you get faced with the drama, I've adored my armor, so the niggas get your palms up to drop you, motherfucker. I'm not gonna pick my balls up. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby.
Have you ever seen someone do something so outrageous that you can't help but think, this stupid crazy situations happen all the time, and people get into situationships on a regular. So, What would you do if you were in their place? Check out our podcast as we discuss just that on What Would You Do podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all your other favorite streaming services. Make sure to search hashtag What Would You Do podcast.
All right. So like we've been talking about the Constitution being subverted, and why it has been subverted as being something that has been thought of as a conspiracy theory for so long. But I just wanted to make sure that you understand that there is plenty of evidence out there that actually supports that so-called theory, and with evidence you have an actual case. So we already discussed how money being a key component of evidence. Probably to me it would be Exhibit A. If I was arguing this, you know what I'm saying? Not saying I should, but if I was arguing it, I would have admitted that as Exhibit A, for the fact that we know that the Constitution asks us for gold and silver instead of cotton, which is the so-called paper that you call money, or cash. Now, whenever you're looking at these people, you see these Democrats, you see these Republicans, and you everybody has their own view of how these parties are set up. But one thing that you cannot change is the history of these parties. We know that the people who started the KKK were, in fact, in the Democratic Party. We won't say that the Democrats were the party of the KKK, but they are the party that had KKK members start and breed hatred. And there is a fact that there are politicians who said they will fight to get the black man to vote for Democrats. Now, my question is how does the KKK come into existence and then ask for the people they're tormenting to vote for them and secede? Most of these days, and I'm not one of those, I'm not a Republican. Let me get this straight right now, because I know a lot of y'all ready to cut me off. I'm not a Republican in the form or the manner that you think a Republican is. I will explain that soon, so just bear with me, okay? But I'm not a Donald Trump Republican. I'm not a Mark Rubio Republican, or I really don't care much about the Democratic Party as much as I don't give a fuck about the Republican Party. And I'm talking about the parties, not the true Republicans. But anyways, the Democrats have made it pretty much to the point where you have to honestly, they've gotten us away from the qualities and the values that our ancestors held dear, truly dear to themselves and to us. And it's just funny how we are now talking about the ancestors, but we won't return to how they were. Because if we could return to how they were, then we'll probably start to blossom like they did at that one point in time. But anyways, I digress. The Democratic Party has done damage. It's just as much damage to us as the Republican Whiggamore Party. And you're going to have to look that up. Look up Whiggamore whenever you get a chance. But you see these Democrats and you see these Republicans fighting, and we know for a fact that they both have hurt the so-called black community, the people of color, the Asiatics, the true Asiatics. We know this, but yet we instead look at them and play along with their games. Hence why we have this fucking office that pretty much is not going to do shit for us. Y'all say he is, and y'all say I don't know what the fuck he did. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I benefited more for Trump cutting business taxes for my business, you know what I'm saying, than I'm doing that. I haven't seen anything he's done for y'all. Seriously. Anyways, back to what I was saying. How do we know that the U.S., by watching that, how the U.S. Constitution has been subverted simply for that purpose alone? Well, if you go onto the U.S. Constitution at Article 4, Section 4, it talks about what kind of government the states are guaranteed to have. And in it says, every state shall be guaranteed a Republican form of government. Again, not a Republican Party. Not a Republican Party. Don't get the two confused. A Republican government. So it's like, what is a Republican government? Because all I keep hearing about is democracy this, democracy that, from the Democrats and the Republicans. Both the democracy this, the democracy that. What the hell is the democracy then? If the government they're supposed to have a republic, oh, are they supposed to be both? Can they both exist? Well, let's go ahead and discuss that. So they say, what is the difference between a republic and a democracy? Now, in the republic, power is in the hands of the individual citizens, no matter who they are. If you are a citizen of that country, a citizen of that nation with your national name intact, then you have equal say-so as the man standing next to you, as the person in Congress, as the president, no matter who you are. So everybody has, you could be black, you could be white, you could be brown, you could be purple, but every last one of y'all votes count the same. Now, in a democratic system, laws are made by the majority. That means whoever that, and as you can see, that's the type of government we live in. If the government, if most people say they want something, they want to legalize marijuana, and it's only a handful of people that smoke weed that be like, man, free this shit, man, what y'all doing, man? Don't be tripping. Like, here, man, hit this, you'll feel better. It ain't gonna get legalized. It ain't. Thankfully, more and more people now are coming to their senses, and the majority of the people now do want it. But now let me ask you a question, black people. Are you a majority or are you a minority? And if you are a minority and you're labeled as such, do you have any power in a democratic system? Now, in a republic system, laws are made by the elected representatives of the people. In a democracy, the will of the majority has the right to override the existing rights. Now, how do you even root for something that is telling you you will not have any rights as a minority? Because it doesn't come down to who has the most votes. No, that's why the electoral college exists. But to curb that whole enthusiasm of yours, thinking that, oh, we finally turned the Georgia blue. Yeah, Stacey Abrams did a wonderful job, and she should be governor of Georgia right now, or with at least with this new campaign that's coming up. Y'all should be voting for her. Fuck why Biden ain't endorse her for this year. He needs to be down there rooting. See this motherfucker here. I don't know why y'all like him, but hey, whatever. All I know is Trump has backed at one point. He backed Kemp's rival. That dude also. Trump backed up. Shit, Pence went to back Kemp. Kemp got to run against Stacey Abrams, and ain't nobody backed her yet. Nobody endorsed her yet. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Anyways, that's your man's. But now in the republic, you have a say so, but in a democracy, you don't have a say so. Now, in a republic, a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, you are allowed to enter into contracts, which we already seen in Article 1, Section 10, when it states, and I repeat, that no state shall pass a law impairing the obligation of contracts, meaning that you are allowed to get into contracts. And guess what the democracy is? The democracy is a contract. Yes, it is. The democracy is a contract that the republic can protect. So this is where we get the democratic republic. And what type of government do we have in the United States? According to govinfo.gov, they say that the United States, under its Constitution, is a federal representative democratic republic, an indivisible union of 50 sovereign states. Well, we already know that's all a lie. We know that's a lie. How do we know that's a lie? Because the Constitution for the United States says it is a republic. Doesn't say it's a democratic republic. It doesn't say that at all. And if you go into the chat and click this little link here for govinfo.gov, you'll get a PDF that will explain to you how it's a democratic republic. But it would not use the Constitution. I like how I say under its Constitution, because it's not saying per the Constitution. They're just saying the United States under the Constitution. They're identifying which United States, the one that is under the Constitution, is a federal representative democratic republic and indivisible union of 57 states. But you would never find that statement in the Constitution. They don't even put the word democracy or democratic in the Constitution. The United States of America is supposed to be a republic. Every state is supposed to be a republic. Instead, we have most states being republics, some states being commonwealths, some states being up under Napoleon law, whatever the hell that is, Louisiana. You need to get that shit looked at. But it's not. There's so much subversion of the Constitution just from these two evidences alone. Your money is not backed by gold, so stop using it. Use gold and silver. Trying to get a community going, well, I can actually get that going, but I can't use gold and silver amongst people who think that gold and silver is a crime. When it's protected, when it's your protected right, God gave you that. He didn't give you cotton and told you to use this as money. He didn't do that. He gave you gold and he gave you silver. Now, with that being said, you have enough evidence now that is proven to be true, or you could try to explain it away. You could definitely try to explain it away. The fact of the matter is, it's not going to change the fact that the Constitution said that we're supposed to be using gold and silver, and we're not. It doesn't change the fact that the government said, the Constitution says that every state shall be a republic, and not every state is a republic. Matter of fact, they're fighting to get us away from the republic to a democracy, which we could clearly see are different. Clearly see are different. And we could clearly see the lies that they put forth, talking about we are a federalist. That is true. We are a federalist republic. That is true. According to other documents that were signed around the time that the Constitution was signed, we are a federalist republic. But they didn't even know about democracy back then. Democracy is new. So how are we trying to say that was better than the Constitution? If that's so, then why don't we rewrite the Constitution? Whoa, they trying to do that with your guns. Don't get me wrong. High-powered rifles like AR-15s and M16s and stuff like that, AK-47, they don't need to be on the streets. But you ain't finna take all our guns. Stop trying to take all our guns. Stop. Just stop right there. You're going to stop at that Texas borderline, I know that much. You will stop at that Texas borderline. But let that be a lesson to all of y'all that the evidence is out there. Stop saying that we are just making this stuff up, because we don't want to do that. There's no reason for us to make this stuff up. There's no reason. So, if you can't check yourself out, and I would check this out for yourself, excuse me, then you have no right to tell somebody else to what to do. You really don't. You have to sit this one out if you do not check this out for yourself. At least learn it so you can defend it. I'm just saying that you should not know about this if you're trying to defend it. If you're trying to say that this okay, what they're doing is okay, if you really feel like that, then learn about it so that you can defend it against people like me who will dismantle your shit. Because you obviously don't know enough. But with that being said, now that you do know, you do. If you know better, you do better. So I hope everybody does better. And this is your boy, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses. I hope y'all already liked, followed, subscribed to us on your favorite streaming service or your favorite social media. You can find us on Facebook at BOSS Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Southside Boss Connection. You can follow our website where you'll find all types of reggae. We got a great reggae interview coming up this Wednesday, so make sure y'all tune in for Fire the Prince here on BOSS Reggae's Reggae Hour. BOS's Radio's Reggae Hour. Anyways, as we go ahead and tune out, you're going to be listening to a little bit more music from your boy, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses, as we bring y'all more from that revolutionary... Nope, that wasn't a track. What was it? It was a revolutionary rapper. What was I going to call this one? I was going to call this one something. You know what? But I am going to play a track from Revolutionary Hour here on BOSS Radio, baby. I hope y'all have a great day.
BOSS Southside.
We just gonna kill us all, and we weren't gonna say nothing about that shit.
The recruits.
Do this for my people, and that's on everything.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chairs came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Was into a situation for obliteration. Stuck us in the projects and started us racing. Kissing up the game like we bout to hit a base. Stacking money cause we have to show them what they really facing. Invest in a motherfucking vest. We about to go to war and it's never gonna rest. I know there's no peace in the streets of America, land where the dark people stress. Oh yes. And one of them things at the time that we hang, I can see all the pain in the eyes of the brain. They infuse my fire like a kerosene blaze. When I learn about you averaging the workers on the slave. If my ancestors did that, then I can do this. Definitely prove this nigga's on his own shit. Taking my heritage, I'm strapped with that metal piece, so your motherfucker better cease and desist. Confidence style mixed with a little wild home wing to a diamond by carpet style tries. Have a coke and a smile. If you not with the movement, I bleed for my people every inch, every mile. Fly away, you don't like what I say. I'm coming from mine and you all gonna pay. I can see you afraid. What is it for the Yankees and a mule that you promised yesterday? Okay, I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. Never round if you really wanna get it right now. I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. I'm around if you really wanna get it right now.
Yeah. When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chairs came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Ain't watching treated to kill it, I say it's all. They can't face it like a man, cause the best is too damn soft. Call a nigga in the cross, they master what's called boss. Like you bust up at the job, the cycle is not long. Not to mention prison, not living, they kill you so long. Can you see the plan, killing native people with a call? It's awful, but no one is left staring and all. We so decent as a top children on kill them all. This world crumbling like Mary Jane, just to keep my focus clear while I'm driving the left lane. The wood switch lane, but it's so much damn pain in the past. Waiting on the brain is different print of pain. It saves my only excuse, this is how they made me. The 6 people in my head and they all hate me. But I'm a soldier, you motherfuckers can't take me. On everything I love is the truth, you can't break me. The souls of my ancestors running through my spirit. If you hear it, it's enough to make you care what fucking spirit. My life is like a bustin', I'ma be the one to steer it. I'm fighting for my people and everything till we clear it. The force you progress and you know we fed up. You really gonna hate us when we get our bread up. Set up like nation, I'm getting impatient and trying to make the doctor really see the sick patient.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chairs came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my chart, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.